Oh, hello there. Yes, well, day and week and weather. Yeah. Once again, that's covered the bases. Now, at the weekend, we were once again thinking long and hard about local elections. No, I wasn't. I got a few leaflets from the Labour Party through my door. Hooray! I don't care. Anyway, yes! It'll be the local elections soon, and a variety of people will be standing for reform, and it's likely that reform will win a number of councils. But they will run into the inevitable, hey, you've got to do something problem. And I was taken by the fact that Darren Grimes is going to be standing as a councillor for reform in his local area. I guess he's moved back in with his mum now or something. Anyway, yes, but the problem, of course, for your insurgent party is that you then have to deliver for people, because you have to make promises to them. If you, for example, are a councillor, you have to do surgeries, Darren. You have to do some work, Darren. Just a bit of a warning there. You've got to do some work for them, otherwise you won't be a councillor for long. And if you're going to run a council, you have to run the services. And you can't just blame brown people for it, okay? It's not a thing you can do. Okay, we had a variety of Labour councils during the 80s under Thatcher, who, for example, were nuclear-free zones. Yes, and all of the associated things that you could shout at them about how pointless that was. It doesn't really matter about these things. You've actually got to, get the bins done, get the public toilets done, get the potholes done, if that comes under your remit. And, of course, you can't just do that by moaning about migrants, okay? Because it's very, very unlikely that Albanians are the ones digging up holes in the road. So Darren et al. Will have to come up with this, yes. I mean, some of these types, like Rupert Lowe, can be sort of like reasonably effective as local MPs, but you do have to do the work. Darren, you have to do the work. You have to put the legwork in. You have to do the work. And I can't realistically see this sort of group of snowflakes actually managing to do that. Coming on to right-wing snowflakes, we arrive neatly with Charlie Downs, who went into Tufton Street, presumably late last week, to chat about how bad brown people are, which is his job. Yes, he was on the New Culture Forum and did have to smile at the thrust of the interview, which was Britain's been betrayed by our political class. Capitals. I love Britain, but won't fight for elite causes. Yes, presumably that'll be the king then, will it? Yes. But of course, Charlie represents that sort of very, very odious, racist, ethno-nationalist, probably can use the F word with him quite effectively because he ticks so many of the boxes. That is so beloved increasingly by groups and media outlets like GB News. But he can go on there and do his thing about how he's been let down by the country. Well, that led me to thinking about all of the young people that are bleeding snowflakes, okay? What's wrong with putting some work in, Mr. Charlie, eh? I do notice from your various stuff in LinkedIn, doesn't say where he went to school, interestingly enough, but anyway, yeah, doesn't actually manage, he's never actually done a job as such, other than basically be a racist for hire. I presume that was what his brief job was working working for an MP, Tory MP of Naturally, yeah? But that's all he does. So I'd like to see some of these people actually get off their bums and do a bit of public service before they start slagging off my country. And Charlie's welcome to slag off my country, but if he doesn't like it here, why doesn't he go somewhere else? Somewhere he'd like. I hear Hungary's nice this time of year. If you fancy a non-democratic, country which is ruled by a bunch of racists. There you go, you can go there, Charlie, can't you? Or why don't you actually put some work in, I'm reminded of Starship Troopers, whereby, service guarantees citizenship. I mean, I've done 25 years as an SEN teacher. Roughly. About 24 of the 25 years I've been a teacher, I've been working in special needs education. I've worked with a lot of kids who have been very, very interesting to work with, often extremely violent. That's what I do. That's my basic specialism. Yeah? Doesn't require me to be big or hard or anything else. It just requires me to be just very, very good at my job. That's a matter of public service, yeah? I do that so other people don't have to. I do that so these kids aren't out on the street ripping your face off. Charlie doesn't do that. He wouldn't, because it actually involves doing something. So much easier to just be a pathetic little snowflake and snipe from the sidelines. Well, get off your bum and do something. And if you don't want to work, if you don't want to, fight for your country, well, I guess we can put you in the medical corps, can't we, eh? You can be a stretcher bearer, Charlie. There you go, mate. There you go. That'll be big and strong and hard for you, won't it? Like you are. Anyway, so I just needed to get that off my chest. It really chuffs me off, these people who are prepared to throw those kind of things at people like me. The idea that I'm not working hard enough, or I don't love my country enough, or why don't I go somewhere else? Well, if you don't like it here, Charlie, you can just go, can't you? I'm sure there'll be some beautiful Republican spot you can sit in the States. After all, they seem to like employing racists over there. Yes. Essentially, though, with these people, and if you look at Charlie and his sort of Twitter followers, it's a who's who of the right-wing commentariat. But what he does is he straddles that kind of Tory acceptable racist with the very, 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 very nasty stuff that's out there, which is why people like him and Connor increasingly come out with these phrases, and you think, oh, well, I wonder where that's come from. And it's basically come from the fascists. Yeah, race communism is perhaps one of them, and there's quite a few of the others you may notice as well. Yeah, it's all based on the old Nazi idea of cultural Bolshevism when it comes down to it. But of course, I guess Charlie would be a little bit upset about that. But again, Charlie probably doesn't have the actual ability to go toe-to-toe with somebody who's going to disagree with him. Not that I've seen, anyway. Yeah. Anyway, grow up, get a life, do something, be a productive member of society rather than just some moaning little snowflake. Enjoy.